Hello, it is Kathryn Mussell here, intuitive energy healer, spiritual growth catalyst, and Ascending Earth Creatrix. Hello. There is a lot of work to be done on the shadow. It is that unconscious part of self that needs to be integrated, and many of us are finding right now, this time, that there are parts of ourselves that are coming up, emerging from shadow, bringing us an invitation to look at the parts of self that feel disowned, fragmented, fractured, the parts that make us feel that we are not whole, we are not complete, that there is work to be done. And it's not that we need fixing, it's not that we're broken. It is simply a way of understanding that there are lessons there that are to be learned from shadow that we can bring back in through healing, in integration, and bringing us back into wholeness. But there are other parts of shadow than the active work of looking at shadow itself and dealing with shadow and bringing up the pain, the grief, the sorrow, the loss of shadow. There are other parts of working with shadow, and I wanted to talk about those specifically today. And it can be a little daunting to do the work of looking at our shadow, to see what lies just beneath the surface that has been informing our perspective on our lives for maybe decades, for maybe lifetimes. It can be a difficult and painful thing to excavate and to unearth, look at, examine, and see. What's really painful is that is to see where we've been holding ourselves in a pattern of resistance, where we have been putting ourselves at arm's length from our abundance, the abundance that's etched into our very own soul's divine blueprint for sometimes a whole lifetime, or maybe even lifetimes, plural. That can be a painful process. But in order to fortify our spirit, to put us into more firmer resolve, I guess, to do this work, is to go through a process that I call unraveling and appreciating. And that is whenever we feel like there is deeper work to do on a soul level, to excavate things that have been painful for us, that have kept us in resistance, whenever we feel there's deeper work there to do in order to fortify our resolve to do that work, we can go through a process of unraveling. And that can be done in a couple different ways. You can do it as more of a meditative practice, where you literally roll back from where you are in time right now. Roll back through your mind your day, your week, your month, maybe even the past year. And go through the things that you have done where you have risen to challenges, met those challenges head on, met those issues head on, and prevailed, overcame. Experience the resonance and the energy of being the victor. This is a very powerful process of understanding that and recognizing that there are many challenges that we have been able to successfully meet in this life. We've done it with having a firm resolve, knowing that we are truly abundant beings, that we have support and tools at the ready to be able to take on the bigger work of looking at shadow, that we have overcome many things that we think, or maybe we have just buried, we haven't cataloged them, because we have this incredible ability as human beings to overlook certain things, to have a short-term memory sometimes about the things that we actually did accomplish, the things that we actually did do. We met challenges, we overcame, we maybe had a period of sacrifice or struggle, but we came out on top. We were able to create something that was part of our divine vision that we wanted to birth into being, and we actually did it. So when you go through this process of unraveling, and what I like to do is journal about whatever I've done in the past, let's just say taking a chunk of time, a month, If I feel I'm in a period of struggle, if I'm really having a hard time overcoming, if I feel like the world is against me, never the case, by the way, because we create exactly what it is that we project out into the world, including all the challenges that we create for ourselves. We can go through this process where we take a chunk of time and journal about it, thinking, well, what have I done in this past month? What are the pros or cons of this past month? What are the things that I was able to accomplish? Where did I succeed? What did I create that was part of my own, beautiful divine vision to bring forth into this world? How did I make someone happy? How did I make myself happy? What did I do to help someone overcome their specific challenge that they were facing? What kind of program did I create that was really what I think of as being successful? Was I able to create financial goals that I was able to meet? Whatever that is for you, look at all of the things that were a pro, that were something you can check off in the pro column and say, I did this. I created this. I made this. I overcame this. I came out on the other side of this. That is a process of unraveling. And oftentimes when we feel like we are facing bigger shadows, bigger challenges, bigger issues, it is really beneficial to go through a whole year even of what it is that you've accomplished, what it is that you've done. I was going through a very difficult point in my business where I feel like nothing was happening. I wasn't getting any clients. I felt invisible. I felt like I wasn't making any forward progress in what I was doing as an energy healer, learning new things, bringing new tools to the forefront and being able to use them. And so what I did is I went back a year in time and I realized I wrote a book, actually 2 books, but only one of them was published. I created a podcast with, having over, 200 listeners every month. I had a YouTube channel with subscribers. I had some very, very powerful healing sessions with clients that were one-on-one. I created some great group programs that were very successful and had a lot of great feedback. I was doing all of the work that I said I was going to do, but I had forgotten a large part of that. And when I sat down and journaled and I unraveled, I went through the past year of my life and unraveled what was there, I realized by any other stretch of the imagination, because sometimes we are our own harshest critics, if that was someone else on paper, I would say, wow, what an accomplished individual. What an amazing creator. What a visionary. And when I realized it is myself here on this piece of paper, it fortified the resolve for me to do the deeper work I needed to do in order to get to that next threshold of abundance, to up level to what I was trying to bring into form on the 3D plane. In order to do all that, I needed to go in and do some deeper work on myself. I needed to look at more shadow. I needed to unearth some other things that were still there, providing just even a little bit of resistance, but it was still work that I needed to do all the same. It fortified my resolve when I did this process of unraveling and appreciating all the work I had done to get me to this very moment in time. And I was able to go in and do the shadow work and do the work that I needed to do with pure sense of courageousness, feeling that I was divinely supported, feeling that I was loved, encouraging myself to feel more self-love, getting rid of a lot of the self-doubt, because there it was in black and white on paper, all of the things that I had already accomplished. What was there that I could possibly have to doubt? How would I doubt myself? Look at what I've done. Look at who I've become. And so in doing that process of unraveling and appreciating, I was able to do the deeper shadow work I needed to do. I allowed myself to move into a place, an energetic vibration and of confidence, of resilience, of fortitude, of strength. So I encourage you to try this for yourself, and understanding that this process of unraveling and appreciating is how we move into that bit of shadow work where we integrate lost, disowned, fragmented parts of self, including where we still continue to self-doubt. We allow to integrate all of that back into us to achieve a sense of wholeness. So I want to wish you so much love and light. I hope this has been truly helpful for you, and so many blessings. Bye-bye.